20 questions on re-ranking. 15 seconds each. Pause if you want longer. Here we go. What is a re-ranker actually doing? Taking the shortlist your fast search produced and scoring it properly. Note what it does not do. It never searches. It has no idea your corpus exists. It's handed 30 or 50 candidates and asked to judge each one against the query carefully, which is a much smaller job, and that's exactly why it can afford to be much better at it. What is a bioencoder? The model behind normal vector search. It encodes the query and the document completely separately into two vectors you then compare by distance. And that separation is the whole reason vector search is possible at all, because the document embeddings can be computed months in advance and stored. The model never sees a query and a document at the same time. That's the superpower, and it's also the ceiling. What does a cross-encoder do differently? It reads them together as a single input. So every word of the query can attend to every word of the document, and the model can notice things like this document uses the same term but in the opposite sense. The output isn't a vector, it's a score. Far more accurate and completely impossible to pre-compute, which is the entire catch. Why can't you just use a cross-encoder for the whole search? Because nothing can be pre-computed. The score depends on the pair, so it doesn't exist until the query arrives, meaning a corpus of 1,000,000 documents needs 1,000,000 model passes for every single question. That's not slow, it's impossible. Which is why the architecture is what it is. Something fast narrows it to 50, then something accurate reads those 50. What is the standard two-stage retrieval pattern? Cast a wide cheap net, then judge carefully inside it. Stage 1 pulls 50 or 100 candidates using fast approximate search, where the only job is making sure the right answer is somewhere in there. Stage 2 spends real compute reading those 50 properly. Recall from the first stage, precision from the second. Almost every serious search system on Earth is shaped like this. If your first stage retrieval misses the right document, what can the re-ranker do? Nothing at all, and this is the constraint people forget. The re-ranker never touches your corpus. It sees the shortlist and only the shortlist. So a flawless re-ranker handed 50 candidates that don't include the answer gives you a beautifully ordered list of wrong documents. Stage 1 sets a ceiling that stage 2 can approach but never exceed. So what should you tune first, recall or precision? recall, because it's the ceiling on everything downstream. Measure how often the correct document appears anywhere in your top 50, not at position 1, just present. If that's only 70%, then 30% of your queries are unfixable no matter what you bolt on afterwards. Fix the ceiling before you polish what's underneath it. How many candidates should you typically re-rank? Enough that the answer is reliably in there, and no more, usually somewhere between 25 and 100. The economics are simple. Latency grows linearly with the number of candidates, while recall improvement flattens out. So there's a knee in that curve. Going from 10 to 50 often buys a lot, 50 to 200 usually buys very little and costs 4 times as much. What latency does adding a re-ranker typically add? Tends to a few hundred milliseconds, depending on the model and how many candidates you feed it. Real, but look at the context. In a RAG pipeline, the language model is about to spend several seconds generating. Adding 100 milliseconds to substantially improve what that model is reading is one of the easier trades you'll be offered. Why does re-ranking matter, especially for RAG? Because you only get to show the model a handful of chunks, so which handful is nearly the whole game. You retrieve 50, 5 are going in the prompt. Getting the best 5 into those slots, rather than the 5 that happen to score well on a crude vector distance, changes the answer far more than swapping to a bigger language model will. How does lost in the middle interact with re-ranking? It means the re-ranker's output order matters, not just its selection. Models demonstrably attend better to the start and end of a long context than the middle. So placing your single strongest piece of evidence at position 6 of 10 is close to hiding it. Some pipelines deliberately reorder afterwards, putting the best chunks at both ends and the weakest in the middle. What's the relationship between re-ranking and hybrid search? They're complementary, and they stack well. Hybrid search widens your net. Keyword matching catches the exact product codes and surnames that embeddings fumble. Re-ranking then judges everything in that wider net properly. One improves what you find, the other improves how you order it. Doing both is standard in serious systems, not over-engineering. How does reciprocal rank fusion differ from a cross-encoder re-ranker? RRF merges several ranked lists using nothing but the positions in them, pure arithmetic, no model, no reading. It's essentially free and remarkably effective at combining a vector list with a keyword list. But it never looks at your query or your documents. A cross-encoder actually reads Different tools, Fusion combines opinions, re-ranking forms one. Can an LLM be used as a re-ranker? Yes, and it has a real advantage. You can give it instructions. Prefer recent documents, prefer official policy over forum posts. Nuance a fixed re-ranker has no way to accept. The cost is that it's dramatically slower and more expensive than a purpose-built cross-encoder that does one job well. Reach for it when you need the instructions, not by default. What does a re-ranker score actually represent? A learned judgment of whether this document answers this query, trained on humans labeling exactly that. And notice how different that is from cosine similarity, which only asks whether two pieces of text are alike. A document can be extremely similar to your question and completely fail to answer it. The re-ranker was trained on the question you actually care about. Should re-ranker scores be compared across different queries? Generally not. The dependable signal is the ordering within a single query. This document beats that one. Compare raw scores across different queries and you'll find the distributions shift. So a fixed cutoff that works beautifully on one query throws away good results on another. If you want a threshold, calibrate it on real data rather than picking a round number. When is re-ranking not worth adding? When there's nothing left to fix. A few hundred well-written, well-chunked documents where the right one already lands at position 1 almost every time. A re-ranker just adds latency to reorder a list that was already correct. It earns its keep when your shortlist is genuinely ambiguous, which is most large corpora and not all small ones. Measure before you assume. What's a practical way to know re-ranking helped? Measure where the right document ranks, before and after, on a fixed set of questions with known answers. If it moves from position 8 to position 1, that's a real number you can defend. The answers feel better is how teams end up keeping components that do nothing and quietly removing ones that were working. Why is re-ranking called the cheapest retrieval upgrade? Because of what it doesn't require. No rechunking. No re-embedding. No re-indexing your corpus over a weekend. No architectural change at all. You insert one call between retrieval and prompt assembly, and you typically get a clear jump in quality. Compare that with the cost of every other lever available to you, and it's usually the first one worth pulling. What's the one-line summary of re-ranking? Retrieve fast and roughly, then judge slowly and well. To different jobs, to different models, and trying to make one model do both means compromising at both. Once you see that shape, you'll notice it everywhere. Recommendation systems, ad ranking, web search. Retrieval and ranking have been separate stages for decades. RAG is just rediscovering why. That's 20. If a few of those stung, good. That's the useful kind of stinging. The full re-ranking episode walks through every one of them properly, and the link is below. See you in the next quiz.